Random thoughts, a lot of people that say that a lot of Cuban fighters are boring, like Lara and then rigondeaux. Um, really, man, erislandy Lara is not a boring fighter. He's an excellent boxer. He's just not one of those fighters that he's not an exciting fighter, And the funny thing about him fighting at this stage, in this particular time on the ass end of a fighter like Mayweather's career, Mayweather started fighting more like Lara fights later because he was being more cautious. But Mayweather knows how to turn it on and turn it off. Lara does not. Lara is a kind of fighter that he fights the same way every fight. He's not going to turn it on and turn it off. He was a little bit more aggressive, like when he fought guys like Angulo. But, I don't think it was because Angulo dropped him. He decided to be more cautious. He just been that way anyway. He got those 11, 12 straight one round knockouts. He got those. He has a little power, but he's not going to really turn it on. He doesn't do that. But you got to think about it. Rightfully so, he's not going to do that because you got to think about where he came from and the things that he done for free. He was the king. He was like the captain of the Olympic Cuban team, I believe in 2008 and 2004. And the thing about it is, man, he did all that stuff and then he fought these guys and he beat these guys and these guys went on to be pros. And these guys went on to make money. And then, and it's sad looking at a guy that, you've beat this particular guy. It's like watching the movie Undisputed, right? You watch a guy that you defeated, fight in the ring to make all types of like freaking barrels of money, and you don't, you're not seeing and you're not reaping any benefit of it. You're stuck on this island in this country, not seeing any of that, and I think it's a little bitterness on Lara's behalf on the way he fights, because I think if he was really, if he would have defected a long time ago, he would have been that type of fighter that probably would have, created or known how to, or actually desired to give the fans a more exciting fight. Whereas now he's just more about fighting for the money, which Mayweather done, and everyone gets sick of him doing that because they already know what he's about. Now, if Mayweather ever went back, it would be for the money. It wouldn't be for legacy like Bernard Hopkins tried to do or any of that. It would have been because he wants to make enough money or more money than he possibly can, and that's what it's about, and they're basically like, fuck everything else. But Lara, he's a good fighter. I like to see him. If you care to see a good boxer in action, you would want to see Lara fight, but if you want to see a brawl, a fight, all out, war, you don't want to see that, because it's basically the casuals will like to see a fight. But I like to see a fight every now and then, but you got to understand, man, the sacrifice of watching two guys go toe to toe, it's a blessing. It's exciting, but it's also damaging. You know what I'm saying? It's damaging to watch two guys go in there and just bang. You know what I mean? Like, Barrera Morales or Chavez Taylor won. You know what I mean? And it's damaging, man. You got to understand that sacrifice is damaging to the fighters. They're not the same, leaving that ring as they came into that ring. They're not the same guys, man. They've took a lot of damage and it's a lot of sacrifice when you watch a fight like that. So like all these casual boxing fans, they see fights and they think that's how fights supposed to be. No, you're watching a fucking treat. It's a treat to see two guys go toe to toe that want to put everything on the line, want to put their face, their head, their health in danger to give a good fight. You know what I'm saying? To give a good fight. to the fans and to themselves for legacy, that takes a lot of sacrifice and it takes a lot of damage. So, the casual fans think that's something that's a normal status quo. That is not how you box. Boxing is hit without being hit. It's not hit and then you take a punch, you give a punch. You take a punch, you give a punch. That's a fucking war. That's not boxing. Okay. But every so often in a boxing match, a fight breaks out. So for all the casuals, this is something for the casuals. Everybody that thinks that, oh, boxing is about fighting like UFC, it's not about that. There is skill that's applied to this sport. Okay. It's not a game at all. You can get hurt. You can die in the ring. Just let that shit sink in. You can die in the fucking ring. So like guys like Lara and how Mayweather developed or how he resorted to fighting like that on a more cautious scale, that's, they start doing that more for money. Now it hurt the sport overall. It hurt the sport overall because a lot of guys, you put everything on the line, but people understand this. Boxing is evolving. You will see a good fight. Guys, their habits, their flaws are the reasons why fights are more interesting, right? But overall, the guys that are more skilled that won't allow themselves to get hit, like Lara, like Mayweather, like Rigondeaux, like Ward, a lot of times, that they can avoid punches and damage and blows like that. They're just doing their fucking job. So that's just me just kind of, just wrapping it up and letting people know what boxing really is. You know what I mean? And what casuals expect versus what true diehard boxing fans, people that know boxing, should expect. But anyway, leave your comments, concerns for this, topic in the comment section below. But this is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and you've been counterpunched. Peace.